D-A-L-L-A-S. Some people say Delice, but I say Delace. I'm not real proficient in French. All right. Mother Nature must have known that Wisconsin was going to become a dairy state. For thousands of years ago, she placed a tribute to our dairy state over here on our left wall. It's called the cow inside the old-fashioned glass milk bottle. Look up to the left, just past these pine trees. Look up, you'll see an overhanging ledge like the bill of my cap. A vertical crack coming down left and right to make the size or the shape of that cap. Hey, we got to have a label. Follow that left crack down. In the darker portion of the sandstone, looking upstream, you'll see the head of Elsie the cow. Her nose, then her eye, and her big old round ear. Just to the right of where the pine trees hang down. The cow's head looking upstream. Everybody see it? Well, now if you don't see it, remember, the milk in that bottle is pasteurized. And I can't blame anybody else for the joke because I wrote the book. In the 1800s, they started coming down this river with huge rafts of lumber. Now remember, there were no dams in those days. When they got to the head of the dells, they break those rafts up into smaller pieces called rapids pieces. Shoot the rough waters up there, shoot some more rough water where the dam is today, bring them down this area, tie them up, walk back and get some more. When they had them all fully assembled, some of those rafts all the way down this river, all the way down to Mississippi as far as St. Louis and New Orleans. In fact, they're tearing buildings down New Orleans right now, finding some of those big old white pine timbers that came down on those rafts. Now it's said during the rafting season, the river was so full of rafts in this area you could walk across the river here for a mile and never get your feet wet. The Orange Rock, about 20 feet above the water, an iron bar with a ring on it. The very last of the rafters hooks, over 150 years old. The very last of the rafters hooks. Well, those lumberjacks had had a long, hard winter. First off, they had to cut those big old white pine trees down, roll the logs into the river, bring them out about halfway down, take them to the sawmill, get them milled, put them back in the river, reassemble the raft, and of course when they got down here, the whole thing over again, put the cook shanty on, get ready to go south. Now from here on, it was going to be an easy journey. They began to celebrate, a hooting and a hollering and a drinking and a yelling. Got pretty loud down here and a little bit drunk. Well, here comes the Reverend Angus McGee down here, looks this over. Those guys need some religion. He proceeded to give it to them in large doses. Talk and talk and talk. All the Sauk, the Potawatomi, the Menominee, but it was the Ho-Chunk, formerly called Winnebago, that lived along these shorelines. They're still here. Maybe some of them might have contributed. They got a casino down the road. But in the old days, they would divide up into families or clans. Each family and each clan with a specific job. Each family and each clan named after a bird or an animal. Now, it was the Hawk clan that lived along this right shoreline. They were judges of the nation. Now, they chose this area because, indeed, our next rock formation was their trail grounds. It's called the Hawk's Beak. Follow the right cliff line all the way around to the point. High out over the river, you'll see that series of ledges that make the hawk. The slit for the eye, the upper jaw, the stone tongue, the lower jaw. Could that flat slab of rock that goes back be the wing as that hawk comes out over the river? Hawk's Beak. Now the trials they had up here are pretty simple. If you were accused of a major crime, you were hauled out on that rock at daylight. You had to stand there till dark to be judged by the hawk god. Now should a hawk come overhead, that was good. That meant you were not guilty. However, no hawk by sundown, too bad. Over the side you went into 40 feet of water, the very deepest water here in the lower dells. Most of our water averages from 10 to 20 feet deep, in some places a lot shallower. looking over here on the right, you can see just how shallow it can get. There's 5 of those ledges over there. That's why the buoys are there. All right, we're coming into the valley of the Canyon of the Painted Rocks. Looking both right and left, you can see these rock walls have many, many subtle colors. This is caused by the trace minerals in these rocks: lead, zinc, iron, copper, just to name a few. But what's really fascinating is how all this got here. 650 million years ago, the Cambrian Sea covered most of North America. As that shallow sea rose and fell, it laid down layer upon layer of sand and silt. You can see that yet. This went on for a great many million years till the sea filled up.
There's an eagle out here, if we can catch him. Maybe he's going away from us instead of closer to us. Oh, here he comes. Lost him. There it is. Bald eagle.
Took me a long time to train him to do that.